Okay, this is it. Todd Bowles got the dub against the Green Bay Packers. We're going to break down his press conference, hear his thoughts. We know that our Carolina Panthers are playing the Packers this upcoming week. So let's do this breakdown. I am Nick. This is Roll Coverage.
Hey, I thought it was all over.
So yeah, we're jumping into it. This is Mr. Todd Bowles. This is the post Packers press conference. I want to know his thoughts. This team looked great. Mike Evans broke 1,000 yards. Let's go. If you're a Bucks fan, which I know my family is, you guys are probably having a good start, thinking that Baker's going to be a great bridge quarterback moving forwards. And I for sure hope you don't have to do what my Panthers are and do a full rebuild. So let's jump into it.
Afternoon.
Afternoon, Mr. I was about to say Coach Bowles. Mr. Todd.
Todd, the good news is you're scoring 24 points per game on the road. You're scoring 15 points per game at home. Why has there been such a huge discrepancy, and what has to change for you guys to be able to put more points up on the scoreboard at Raymond James?
Well, the biggest thing for us is to be able to put more points than the other team. So if we got 15 and they got 14, then I'm happy. But you want to play better. You always want to score points. That's the name of the game. But lately, the way we've been winning as team football, offense, defense, special teams, however we can get a win, we can win. We're not worried about how many points we score, just more than the other team.
Todd, for the offense, outside of one punt and the turnover early, the offense consistently.
So I felt like the offense did well. Mike Evans, of course, puts his thumbprint on the game. Overall, the offense looks great. Defense has some injuries that they just need to kind of get through, but I think this is their kind of retooling year as they get ready for a real push in the playoffs next year. I do believe the Bucks will be the division winner. So
He was able to move the ball down the field and put points on the board. What can you say about the consistency of that group yesterday?
It was great to see everything clicking over there. You know, the run game got going, the pass game got going, the ball got spread around. You know, it was great to finally see some consistency over there. They've been putting it together for a couple weeks now, and it finally came to fruition.
It's a lot of different things, but I mean, 3 weeks ago you're sitting at 4-7. Is there one thing you'd point to for a common thread in these 3 wins for why you are where you are now?
No, just finishing ball games, correcting mistakes, cutting.
things I like about Todd Bowles, he answers the questions. He's very open, honest. I think it comes from that, thing that Brady kind of wanted him more involved. So that tells you quite a bit. He's very knowledgeable. So I think he's the perfect head coach to continue moving forwards. I would be very surprised if they got rid of him, and if they do, I don't think that they can bring in somebody better than Todd Bowles.
Out large.
At least right now. Obviously, if you go out and get a Jim Harbaugh or something like that, great. But as of right now, Todd Bowles is your best option, so I would keep rolling him forwards. Team looks like it's rallying behind him, Baker, and that offense, so let's keep it going.
Penalties, blocking assignments have been better, not giving up the deep ball for the most part, just playing better football.
Now let's revisit the Devin White situation. You told Devin yesterday that KJ Britt was going to start, and
Did I?
I think you did.
No, I didn't.
Oh, calling you out.
You did not.
Devin told me Friday he couldn't play, or Saturday or Friday he couldn't play, so KJ was starting. That was the end of it.
It wasn't in response to that.
No,
Is KJ Britt your starting linebacker moving forward, or is it Devin White?
when Devin gets healthy, we'll rotate the players and see how it goes.
And Devin is one of those players that he needs to be on the field. I don't think you can win consistently without him on that team. So you just got to do what you got to do. You got to retool. But overall, I'm very happy with the Bucks.
Were you surprised that Devin said he couldn't go, considering he had been practicing up to that point?
No, not surprised. I get guys all the time. I mean, Hayes got sick on the bus. He couldn't play. I mean, you go with a guy's gut. If he tells you he can't go, you go with the next guy and you play.
See, that's the simple answer. Like, that's okay. You could just be like, hey, man, he says that he's, throwing up and vomiting. I'm not going to force his ass to go out on the field. So we just change it up. That's why everybody's got to be ready. It's a no fun for league, not for long, whatever you want to call it. But they're always waiting for that next person to take the reins and, run this horse down the track. That's what happened there. Devin couldn't do it, so they put in KJ. Speaking of, shout out, December 20th when I'm recording this. It's my birthday. Turned 33 today. Hopefully everybody has a great day. The holidays are obviously right around the corner, so hopefully everybody is with their family and enjoying it. Hopefully Mr. Bowles is getting ready for this game because it's gonna be a real interesting one this week.
How concerning is it that this injury for Devin will hang on for the rest of the season? It seems to be coming and going.
Well, it's something he's got to deal with. I mean, I'm not a doctor, so I can't really say how he feels or how he doesn't feel. But, next guys have to step up. We've been doing it all year, so we just keep rolling.
Is this something you'll have to deal with in the offseason?
That I do not know.
He had played 2 games kind of with the foot injury, and then obviously hasn't played the last 3. Did something change where he aggravated it? I forget what game that is, the Colts, or what game that was. But was there something that exacerbated the foot, or was it just him not being able to play through what he played through?
That I'm not sure of. Usually as a coach, you go with the guys that say they can play, and the guys that can't play, they get treatment and they get healthy.
Nice, easy answers again. Body language is pretty consistent with the 2 press conferences we've done with Mr. Bowles. He's very open, honest, straight to the answer, opposite of me sometimes. I know I can ramble, but I'm just going to kind of let him go. He's given us the normal generic B press conference so far. So
You had a lot of other guys that were on the bubble. Obviously, everybody's different for injury situations, but Vea was a question mark. Godwin was a question mark. To have a player in such an important game say they can't go, does that surprise you when it's a captain like it was here?
No, not if they're injured. If they're injured and they say they can't go, what else are you going to do? You play ball.
yeah, just because you have a C on your chest doesn't mean you're somehow like more durable or more able to get through pain. That might be a mental thing for some guys, but I agree with this answer.
I mean, I've had captains hurt. I've had backups hurt. Some say they can go. Some say they can't. So that's about all there is.
KJ's had 2 full games now where he's been your linebacker. How has he performed over these 2 games?
He's played well. Obviously, we know what he can do. He got his chance while he got in there. He took advantage of the opportunity, and we like where he's at.
When it came to stopping the run yesterday, Aaron Jones got hot to begin the game, but the defense was able to stop him and the whole Packers run game for really the rest of it. What would you point to for being able to make those adjustments and get the stops that were needed?
This guy's making plays. This guy's making plays. And when you
Got some really great guys on that defensive side, stopping that run game. Vita Vea, Devin White when he's playing. I mean, you've got some dogs on that side of the ball. So, yeah, you just need guys to make plays in that moment.
get a lead, we haven't had a lead too many times. When you get a lead, you can play and you make people pass more. That helps out too.
Todd Baker had probably his best game this season, if not one of the best of his career on Sunday. And to hear your praise for him after the game in Green Bay, how much has he helped himself be your quarterback and be the quarterback here beyond this year, and how much would you kind of lobby for that?
Well, I'm sure that'll be an off-season probably conversation, but I love where he's at right now. I love him when he came in, not just because of the game he played yesterday. Very smart, very tough, knows where to go with the football, very mature where he is as far as getting his reads and getting everybody in the right place. And, me personally, I really like where the guy's at.
Todd, the Bucs sent out a press release on Saturday saying that Ryan Neal was out for the game and that Vita Vea was upgraded to questionable. If Devin told you on Friday or Saturday that he wasn't able to go, why wasn't that change made to the media?
I don't talk to the media after I talked to the media Friday afternoon. I wasn't available for that information until later that day or that evening, so I don't talk to the people till the next day. So we'll see. If he gets better, he usually plays. Usually when guys get sick, Hayes was the same way, but he was out. We keep people down sometimes. That's just the way it goes.
That's okay. I think the whole not updating the press is an interesting one, but obviously you pay people to do that. It's not Todd Bowles' job to update absolutely everybody at every junction moving forwards for this team. So I couldn't agree with that more. He's a head coach. He has other things to handle. If the front office doesn't let out certain information, then that's on the front office, and that's not on him.
You guys had even added Hayes to the injury report, I think 20 minutes before inactives came out. Was that just a situation where the Devin news wasn't communicated to people?
Yeah, and look at his face. He's kind of like, dude, why are you asking this question right now? Like, come on, bro. But I understand they're being a little bit more probative. We've had the thing in the league with the whole Joe Burrow hand thing where they might have hid that information. So we're seeing teams get a little bit more crafty. So I think it's maybe just trying to get out ahead and basically exonerate the organization to be like, hey, you guys didn't do this maliciously, right? So that's what I'm hoping with this, of course.
To put those things out.
Didn't have to be communicated because there was nothing to communicate. He practiced on Friday. He practiced on Thursday. And he said he couldn't go Saturday morning. That was the end of it.
Go back to the offense. You had a new coordinator, new quarterback, revamped offensive line, so the idea that the offense was going to take some time to find itself isn't surprising, but what have you seen specifically over the last few weeks that give you, optimism where this offense is now?
Certainly, before Todd jumps into this, I'm going to say it is Baker. I'm going to say it is the wide receiver group really getting open and making plays. Mike Evans mainly. Excuse me. Sorry, I had to sneeze. Yeah, and I think it's just the offense gelling early. It's that Baker it factor, the thing that got him the Heisman, that made him a problem in college.
Just gelling together, receivers knowing exactly where to be, audibles are on time, offensive line playing together. Nobody's really missing a bunch of blocks right now, and the confidence has grown as a group as the season went on. Dave's comfortable with them. They're comfortable with Dave. The adjustments, the roles everybody has, and moving people around, I think they've grown very comfortable with that, and that's kind of helped us out a lot.
A reporter at the game on Sunday didn't see Devin.
Interesting answer, nonetheless. Interesting. I really thought that he would really double, triple, quadruple down on Baker because I do believe that the Bucs are going to retain him long term.
Locker room after the game. Did he travel with the team?
Yeah, he was there.
Your offense, this isn't necessarily a Sunday thing, but the whole season, but you have the best offense in the NFL on third down and 3 or less. It's like
Really interesting.
24%. Baker's got amazing numbers. He's 22 of 26 in those situations. It's like an 85% completion rate. What would you point to for why that specifically has gotten so much better this year?
Baker effect. I'm not even a big Baker fan. I was happy with him with my Carolina Panthers for that little bit of time. I just felt like he was in the wrong system. If you were to put Baker, and again, I'm going to keep going back to this team because this is the gold standard. If you were to take Baker and put him on the Niners, he's the MVP. If you were to take Baker and put him on the Colts, I think that they are an almost 10-win, if not more than 10-win team. I think he has a certain it factor about him, but he does need a dynamic wide receiver, which is why I think he would struggle just a tiny bit in Indy because they don't have a real number one wide receiver as of right now. I understand Pittman's starting to make more strides, but Mike Evans really alleviates a lot of pressures, personally.
It's a good question. Just execution, really. Execution. Being able to execute third and manageable. Dave's done a great job mixing things up, keeping people off balance, and that takes a lot of work. The offensive staff as a whole has really done a good job when we get to those down and distances, doing a good job of executing.
Todd, you game plan against quarterbacks, and you've seen guys have that downward spiral when they have an early takeaway against your defense, or I should say turnover. Is Baker's resilience just shrugging off that sack fumble that led to a touchdown, and to have the type of day that he did, is that one of his best traits that you think?
Yes, yes, yes. Nice and simple answer.
He has that trait, and I think everybody needs to have that trait. And if you play football, whether it's a bad play, a quarterback, a DB, a lineman, you got to have that resilience to come back. I think he never broke stride. He understands what happened on the play. They got a turnover. They got a touchdown. It was early in the game. No need to get down. We've been through some ups and downs this season, so we're coming out on the other side of them, and everybody stayed the course.
David Moore obviously had a big play in the game, this catch and run for a touchdown. He's been getting a little bit more playing time. Does he put himself into the conversation to be an established wide receiver 3 after Mike and Chris?
I mean, we still got Palmer there. Moore is a good help. He can make some plays all over the place. He can move around. He's got experience in the offense. He's got experience. He can play. He's got great hands, and he's a good utility guy for us. But we rotate guys in and out depending on the packages, but he's a big part of that.
The three.
This is really interesting. I've been doing breakdowns for more teams in the South. I did Reich. We've done Chris Tabor as interim for the Panthers. We've done Arthur Smith. We've done Dennis Allen. We've done Todd Bowles. Todd Bowles is, again, the most cerebral, answering the question, kind of being in the moment, and it really gives up these interesting nuggets of what he truly feels about players without giving too much up. So I think that's a very beneficial thing for this team and moving forwards. I think it helps establish people in their roles and the pecking order, essentially, inside of the organization. So Yeah, I'm so far I'm loving the whole gist. He doesn't have the whole big body language. He's not out there, going crazy. He's got a kind of a little cracked smile. Um, more like a just quick, easy thing. So I think he's more of the cool, calm, collected, what I imagine Frank Reich would be with the Carolina Panthers, while still being a really good, if not soon to be great, coach down the road.
Guys that were kind of ruled out this week in Carlton, Will Golston, and Ryan Neal. Is there a sense of if with any of the three are ahead of the others in terms of who might be in the best position to practice and then play on Sunday?
Not at this time. I'll probably have a better answer on Wednesday.
What type of growth have you seen from Dave Canales throughout the year in his rookie play calling season on the practice field?
So we did a breakdown of Canales. I really like him. Very open, very honest. He seems a bit jittery, but maybe that's just because, it's kind of one of his first big years coaching, especially with this team. I think Canales can be a really good coordinator moving forwards, but I think he needs somebody like this to bring him down, because if you do watch the breakdown that we did over on YouTube at Roll Coverage, um, he's very all over the place. He's very frantic, it seems like. It almost seems like he did a little Red Bull shot before he went up there, or a quadruple espresso or something. So this more cool, calm, collected demeanor, I think, is what the Bucs need. Canales has a lot going for him, and we're going to see that develop hopefully over the next few years.
Field and meeting rooms, etc. How has he helped this offense get progressively better as the season's gone on?
Really just staying the course. Dave's a very positive guy, very bright guy, excellent teacher.
Seem like that. I'm obviously I'm focusing on like his jitteriness when I was giving him the breakdown, but he has all these things. He seemed very happy. He seemed jovial. He seemed engaged. He seemed incredibly cerebral. He seemed vigorous in like his due diligence essentially towards looking forward to other teams and looking back and all that other stuff. So
coaches around him are excellent teachers. They do a good job staying the course. If something doesn't work, they know why, how, when. They can fix it. They can correct the mistakes. They can teach it to the players to adjust it and trust them to do the right thing. And over the course of the year, you learn a few things, calling plays, preseason, regular season, doesn't matter. Throughout your whole career, you're going to learn things. He's a quick learner. He adjusts with himself. He adjusts with the team. And, he's making all the right calls.
I know football's supposed to be a week-to-week thing, and you got to kind of forget what happened last week, whether you win or lose, and stay kind of even keel. But momentum is also a real thing. Do you sense some momentum from your team with this 3-game winning streak getting into 2 really important home games?
I'd say it's more urgency, and momentum's coming with winning, but the urgency is there. We know we have to win out to get in the playoffs. That's been our mindset since we played Carolina. That's our mindset this week as well against a good Jacksonville team.
Anything else?
Thanks.
Bucks YouTube, they always do a great job over there. They have some amazing videos that we'll be doing more breakdowns on the Bucks. Like I said, we are covering all of the South now, even expanding to some other teams. There's even going to be a Matt LaFleur breakdown video soon, so check out for that. My name is Nick. This has been Roll Coverage, where we do breakdowns like this on the regular. Make sure to subscribe to us at the socials below. We are always here for you. Make sure to drop us a message over on Twitter at Roll Coverage Pod. Otherwise, have a great day. Peace.